Hi you guys, it's Karina. So I am back with another video tutorial and we are going to be working with my template 56 and we're going to be making this star kind of inspired layered flower. Super simple to make, but I definitely wanted to have this tutorial available for you guys to learn how to make. Refer to the previous video before this one because I do show you guys how to make the gardenia inspired flower using the same template. So refer to that video before this one and stay tuned because the video following this tutorial will be on the dahlia inspired flower using the same template. Now template 56 does come with 10 petals. She is available in SVG and PDF. So SVG just means that your cutting machine such as Cricut or Silhouette can cut the petals out for you. Now for the video tutorial on the gardenia, I do a walkthrough in the beginning of the video, just showing you guys how the SVG looks like. So if you're curious what the SVG looks like, highly recommend for you to watch that video tutorial so that way you can get an idea what the SVG is all about. Now she's also PDF, so if you don't have a cutting machine, you can just print out the template onto cardstock, cut the petals out so that way you have your own hard copy templates, so that way you can trace out the petals on paper, cardstock, and then just cut them out. Okay, so there is that option. So you do get both. I typically like to do, I use both honestly. Typically I use my SVG when it comes to like the smaller petals, but on the larger scale I just rather trace and cut. Now this template, there is a larger version of her which is template 7, but template 7 is meant more for the 15, 18, 20 inch range of flowers, and I know some of us prefer working and making smaller flowers, so that is how this template came about. Okay, so you are going to be using, let me get these out of the way. So in order to make this flower, it does require, I think I did 5 layers. Yeah, so 5 layers. So you can definitely add as many layers as you want. You get 10 petals. So if you wanted to do a 10 petal, so all the petals layered, you certainly can. I just want to show you how to assemble, how to make this. Again, super easy. And then I leave it up to you. Just follow the same techniques if you want to make the larger ones or the smaller. Now, if you do have the SVG, a nice thing about it is that you can manipulate the SVG on Design Space or Silhouette and make the petals larger if you want them on a larger scale or smaller than what they already are. Okay, so that is one of the nice things about having an SVG. Okay, let's talk about the petals that you will need. So you're going to omit the first 3, and you're going to need the 4th petal, 5th petal, 6th petal, 7th petal, and 8th petal. So we're omitting the 2 largest and then the 3 smallest, okay? Now for this larger one right here, I did use the largest petals, which was the first 5. Sorry, my coughing, my goodness. Now size wise, this is roughly around 12 inches, just to give you an idea if you're curious as to how wide this flower again. And again, if you want it larger and you have Design Space or Silhouette, just size up the petals, you guys. Just mess with the sizing and make them larger. If you do not, then there is template 7 if you are interested, and again, that's similar, just this is on a smaller scale. Okay, you are going to need 6 petals of each. Okay, so 6, 6, 6, 6, 6. And then I'm going to show you how to prep them. All you're going to do is you are going to crease them in the center like this. So this is what you're going to do to all your petals. So let me go ahead and do that and I'll be right back. Okay, you guys, I have the first 6 petals. So this is your largest petal. And what we're going to do is we're going to glue these around in a circle. So I am going to be using my Surebonder Mini Detailed Glue Gun. And I'm going to be adding a very small dot of glue on the corner. and I'm gonna glue the petal right above. So your goal here is to go around in a circle. We're only adding a very small dot of glue just in case we need to lift any petals up and readjust. I don't always get the circle right the first time, so I just add a small dot of glue just in case I need to lift that petal up and not damage it. All right, let me see, how does that look? I think that does that work? Hold on. We're gonna fix it a little bit. I'm gonna move this one a little bit more. Okay, I think we're good. Okay, so this is essentially what you want, okay? So now we are going to cover up the center. So let me go ahead and find a piece of scrap, which I don't know if I have any. Hold on. All right, guys, sorry, I thought I had another piece of paper. So I'm just gonna go ahead and cut a circle large enough to cover that up. Just like that. Okay. Now I am using 65-pound cardstock weight if you're just curious. Now, super simple. We're on to the next petal. I'm going to add glue only to the left side. So facing me, this is the left. And we are going to glue this right on top. So you're kind of lining up that crease line. Onto the last petal. So remember how we only glued the left side? The right is lifted because we're going to tuck this petal underneath. So see, so now I'm going to add glue here and glue that petal down. And voila. So now we're on to the next petal size. We will do the same thing where we're only going to add glue to the left side. And now we are gluing right above that one. Okay, you're just gonna go around. And if you have the template 7, which is the larger version, you would just follow the same techniques, grab 5 petals, and then same amount of petals, you would need 6, and then just layer them. Last petal, we're tucking this one underneath. And then glue this. And there we go with the 3rd layer. So now we're on to the 4th layer. You're gonna repeat and then just glue. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish this layer up and I'll be right back. Okay guys, so I am done with the 4th layer. We are on to the last layer. Same thing, I'm only going to add glue to the left on this first one. And we're going to glue that petal right on top. Let me finish this up and I'll be right back. All right, you guys, I am on to that last petal. All right, and voila, there you go. So we are on to the center. So 2 ideas. Well, honestly, you can do whatever you want. 2 of the things that I like to do, one, because sometimes I'm lazy and I don't feel like thinking about, you know, a center. Adding a gem is a perfect idea for a center. So probably even this one, because this was a little bit bigger. So that, look at how cute. So that is an idea. And you can find gems on my website, or you can do fun centers. So I do have a couple of centers on my Etsy, but you can also on Design Space or Cricut, or they're the same, Design Space or Silhouette, they have centers there, you guys. And honestly, anything that you think would look adorable, like that looks adorable, would work. If you want something hand cut, where is this one? So typically this is my go-to, this center. This is like one of the first flowers and centers that I made when I started out like 10 years ago. Super simple to make. So I'm going to show you how to make that one. And honestly, I wing it. So I'm going to use a scrap piece of paper right here. Obviously, you can change the color if you would like. I'm just going to keep it white. So I am going to cut a strip. It's not going to be perfect. And I'm just going to go right on top. I cut another one just in case if I need it. All right, so now what we're gonna do, we are going to French these. And what I mean by French is you're just going to cut thin strips like this. Do you see that? So I'm gonna go ahead and do this to all 3. Okay guys, I have my 3 strips ready to go. Grab one, and we are going to roll. Glue. This is what you should have. So now you could add a second one if you want the inner bud a little bit more thicker. I'll show you that in a minute. So now what you're going to do, grab your thumb and you're going to press down. It's like you're smushing it. This is what you're kind of creating, this right here. And now get yourself another strip. And glue this around. You could just leave it at 1 strip. I'm going to add another one. glue. And now these you're going to pull back. Just like that. And then you can glue her in the center. Super adorable. Now remember that inner part, I said you can roll 1 or 2. So like for example, this one I did do 2. So the inner ball circle is a little bit more bigger compared to this one that I just did 1. So that is all on your preference. So that concludes the tutorial for template 56. I just wanted to share with you quickly how to make this center if you're interested. But again, you can do whatever you want. You can add a gem or see if you can find something on Silhouette or Design Space, or create your own center that you would like. Okay, so I hope you found that helpful. Again, template 56, you can find her on my Etsy and you will get the SVG and PDF. If you have any questions, please email me either my email, ariellesedesigns@gmail.com, or you can reach me on my Etsy. And for the most part, I'm pretty good at responding within the hour of you messaging me, but I do have 4 kids, so keep that in mind if I don't get to you right away. But for the most part, in 24 hours, I do. Okay, so I will chat with you guys later. Bye.